Back into the UK for the second time this season, A.G.E takes pole, Ultra rounds off the front row. BDS start third from Sebastian Cabo and Bravo. You see Ensign also takes 6th place from Marcus Adelaide and Tom Leon, with Devender in 9th. We came all around off the top 10 with Carson Wells starting 11th. First CEO takes 12th position, Taka Van Horn and Lance Bomb. 15th place we see Livery and Emilio Zygmunt, Devin Butler, Daniel Castro, Jerry Headley, finally from 3, Rafa Crumbly, Marcus Klein and Daniel Boxarov. So here we go, 5 red lights to the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. Good start off the front for the top 3. But it looks like Ultra's got the best start of everyone, as he's going to use the soft tire grip to try and get round the outside of A.G.E. He does exactly that. He moves up into first place and now leads the 70th anniversary GP from A.G.E and Ocampo. As BDS falls down into 4th position, that's not the start we wanted, as he's trying to find Rainbow even keep 4th. He's got the inside line at Luffield, and he moves back up ahead of the Ferrari. The Ferrari though will not want to give this one up. He's going to have to try and fight it back. And McLaren bringing many upgrades into this race to improve Austin's car all the way up to the maximum performance of 10. So now we've got a very competitive front end of this grid, and it is absolutely amazing to see here as Ultra pulls out a whole 1 second gap to A.G.E, which is not at all ideal for the Mercedes, Red Bull or Dragon teams. You can even say McLaren in this case as well. And Ultra gets a corner cut warning, straight up corner cut, and that is very suboptimal in this case here. Ocampo in 3rd position, BDS falling off a bit, and that is not what he needs considering that he's P2 in this World Championship, and he'll be looking to try and get ahead of Ocampo at some point. Ocampo though being in 3rd position is very ideal for Red Bull, as he needs to try and expand on 3rd. If he do that, he can expand his championship lead even further than what he would do at the moment. As here we are around Lustfield once again, as Ultra continues to lead. He got through Woodcut and now he's just on the straight towards the Cops Corner, which is one of the fastest corners on this circuit, if not the fastest. And he gets around that corner without any issues. A.G.E is going to have a very big job right now though of defending 2nd place while trying to push for 1st. That's a difficult challenge. He's managed to get a really good exit though out of Beckett's, and this here allows Sebastian Ocampo to obviously lose time to A.G.E, but Ocampo himself, we wanted to try and push forward more while still defending for BDS as a 5-second penalty comes out for our race leader Ultra. That is massive in this case, so he's gonna have to really push to try and take his penalty into the pit lane and still come out overall in 1st. BDS though fighting with Ocampo side by side with the Filipino. These guys used to be teammates back in 2015 and 16. And yeah, it's nice to see them fight, but as long as they're not fighting too much, as Ocampo on the inside line takes 3rd place once again. He shuts the door. The Red Bull stays ahead of the Dragon racing car as the Dragon goes for slipstream and the inside line. Try and do it at the same time. It's a difficult thing to do that, but he's trying, and that's all that matters in this case. BDS will manage to get alongside the Red Bull, and through Magnus and Beckett they go. Down the inside, round the outside, go back to the inside, but it doesn't matter. He's already got 3rd place once again, and he's going to get DRS, which is an added bonus in this case. Ravo is trying to get alongside Jensen Olsen. He's doing that right now as we head into Stowe, but he's not got enough speed to go for a move. He stays where he is. Ultra getting another warning for corner cutting. He needs to be extremely careful. Look right behind. He's got A.G.E who's managed to pull in some time on that last lap, which obviously is going to be worrying for the Colombian, who's still yet to get a good result this season, because he hasn't got one yet. Not yet. Eduardo though, he's hanging on the bridge of the points, He is in 11th place and just up ahead is 10th, which is where the points are scored in the World Championship. DRS enabled for him, as Lam Phong unable to get DRS. Of course, Lam Phong, he had a solid result in the WEC earlier on in Lone Star Le Mans. Of course, he's crossed the big lake and he's over here in the UK now to race in the Formula 1 World Championship. Ultra tyres still wearing out, and that is probably why Davide Cerqueira has now lost a lot of time to... Wait, that makes no sense, never mind. The opposite actually happened there. BDS so closing in a little bit of time on Davide Cerqueira. Ultra trying to use the remainder of his softs left to try and utilize them and push. It's a warning for track limit, so for Ultra Bros, he stays out on track. Now for VDS, he's also staying out. Sebastian Campbell staying out as well. Adelaide gets a penalty for track limits there, so you have to be really careful on that one. He's now obviously got 5 second penalties. Same thing for Daco Van Horn. Both AlphaTauris experiencing a penalty of some sort at the moment. Butler and Livery right with each other as they enter the pits. Lam Phong going to be going at hard, but I feel like he's going to be getting held up here. As yep, he has been held up. It was very clear that he has been. As here with Daniel Boltsarov just chilling on the grid right now. Going to be hitting from softs to hards. And that should be a clean stop Williams are putting in for him. As there we go, in fact, holding up Livery. That was quite unexpected, as Ultra now under serious threat from Davide Cerqueira. As Cerqueira now pulls 4 seconds away from Billy Drunk Sonic. The mediums are way too overpowered right now, as the softs have got nothing left in them. 34% for Ultra's softs. And as we head into Stoke Corner, he's going to stay ahead, but yeah, he's under serious risk though at the Vale chicane, where he could easily go off the track. There goes Cerqueira around the outside. Oh, he goes deep, but he still gets through. He gets through nonetheless, and in the pit lane comes Ultra. Tomlin, 5 second time penalty for track limits. BDS coming into the pit lane as well as Olsen and Ocampo. So let's have to see in what order these drivers come out their pit boxes. As there it is, Carlos Model getting held up. Olsen, he's the one who comes out ahead of everyone else there. Incredible work down at McLaren Petronas. That is a perfect stop of Williams pitting Eduardo onto hard tyres. It was very clear that they're doing one stop with both of their drivers. As we're on the 6th lap of 13, Davide Cerqueira will continue to lead the way, but he might have a win in one hand already, because this strategy looks to be working really well as the softs are dying off really quickly, while the mediums are keeping up good pace even when they're really worn. So Mercedes pulled out an absolute blinder to their rival teams, and have they got this win in one hand already. Of course, Olsen's the one to look out for. He was the leader of them people who just came into the pit lane, so we got to look out for him as he's going to try and get ahead of Zygmunt, obviously being held up a little bit by him. And the McLaren moves through up into 7th place, and he is penalty free. There is Ultra though on the back of Ocampo, so he's managed to get rid of his penalty and be on the back of some of the guys who he pit with. Here's Cerqueira though, still on track. Ravo coming into the pit lane to get rid of his soft tyres. Adelaide also coming in. There are going to be some easy free places for Olsen, who does get a corner cut warning. Sebastian Campbell gets a track limits penalty though, and a penalty, you never want to see a penalty next to your name, because you're going to have to serve it in the pit stop, and yeah, that loses you a lot of time. So yeah, Cerqueira still continuing to lead the way. Olsen though rapidly closing into the gap that Cerqueira has made out in front. There we go, Cerqueira heading through cops, as Olsen is heading towards Lovefield right now. He's got Blair Johnson though right behind him. Their cars are the same performance, but the skill level is different, and the skill level would go to BDS, who has a higher one for this Grand Prix and for the future ones at the moment. As in the cops pressuring Olsen. Maybe that was a fake move to the inside, maybe it was an actual attempt, but we won't know that. As they head through Magnus Beckett's at the exit of Beckett's, Will Olsen will make that McLaren as wide as he can. Well, maybe he won't have to because he's already pulled out a pretty good gap on the exit. As into the pit lane comes Davy Cerqueira, our race leader. Tom Leon will probably follow him, do the same. Yes, he will. UK Ball, I'd imagine, will do the same. Yes, he does. Olsen gets a 5-second time penalty for a corner cutting. Oh, that's not good at all. This will give BDS the net race lead because Davy Cerqueira is leaving the pits now on his fresh soft tyres, which might get to the end. It's going to be a bit hit and miss though. Because says they do love a good old soft medium or medium but soft. And they've managed to get the driver out in 5th, and a 2-lap offset is really good. And if you're looking here right now at your screens, you can see he's got a 2-lap offset to everyone in front of him. And the top 3 separated by 1 second, but 2 of them guys have penalties and into the wall or whatever. That's not the wall. No, sorry, that's Headley with a mechanical failure down the Wellington Straight. That's a bit of an interesting incident, but it's a virtual safety car that we've got deployed for that incident right there. So yeah, as we're looking now, the VSC is ending. BDS needs a good restart. He really does. And is it a good restart? I don't know. I don't think so. He has got DRS nonetheless. Sebastian Ocampo has had an awful restart. He does not get DRS. And that is going to put him very susceptible to Davy Cerqueira, who is in striking distance next lap. Yeah, Cerqueira's going to have to be really careful. He's really pushing them track limits. Somehow no warning came out of that, even though he was very clear off the track on the entrance and the exit. Bit of an interesting one is Eduardo and Adelaide both pick up 5-second time penalties for the exact same reason. UK Ball's just picked up one there. Butler's just picked up a penalty. As he's got Tom Leon for company right behind the Red Bull alongside the BWT Sauber into the first corner at Abbey and round Farm. That is nothing Butler can defend as Tom Leon moves up into 12th place. Zygmunt in the Haas, just in a bit of a world of his own. He sees Baltar behind, but he can see Crumply up ahead. As yet again, the Dragon and the McLaren, they're fighting as Cerqueira still wanted to get ahead. And into Gopp's corner, Olsen drops down to 2nd place, and BDS will take the lead of the race here at Silverstone. And he gets a 3rd track limit warning, so he has 1 more violation left for it, 10 seconds worth of penalties. Ocampo has got to come into the pits this lap, otherwise he'll have no chance to win this race. She's going to have to come in, or else, like I said, no chance to win. As we're going to look at the rear view of Blade the Dragon Sonic. Around the Vale chicane, 2 warnings for track limits for him. Olsen has 1 more violation, or no, he has no more violation left for its penalty. BDS has 1 more violation, and that's it. And the 2 AlphaTauris versus Theo and Taco Van Horn, they've got a bit of a gap between each other, but they're running 15th and 16th. Now, what's Ocampo doing? He has stayed out 43% of his tyres. They're not going to get the end. Red Bull need to bring in the Filipino driver this lap, or else he's done for. Now, he is doing a good job at defending from Cerqueira, but of course, too late now. The Brazilian moves up into 3rd place as his tyres, they're going to start to wear out soon. They're on 66%. By the end of the lap, we will see the visible wear come into play. Zed's also still right behind Blade Sonic, who's got 2 wins in a row so far. Can he make it 3 this race? Well, that's what he's trying to do here at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, as Livery moves over onto soft compound tyres, and he is going to be leaving the pit lane in 21st and last place. Disaster for Racing Point today, as Tom Leon is carving his way through the field. Maybe teams are holding out because the sky is getting darker, and when the sky gets dark, you know rain could be on the horizon. And there is rain! I was right about that, as there, through goes Olsen, taking the lead of the race. And that is exactly why these teams are holding off to pit their drivers, because rain came, and it's the UK, so what do you expect? Many drivers still staying out. BDS is going to get ahead of Cerqueira. Now, where's Olsen going to come out in all this? He's got his inters on, and he's going to come out of this in a net 3rd position. Leading the race, though, is Ravo on the Wellington Straight. There's too much rain though. Rainbow and Benedetto are gonna have to push like mad slap. They're gonna lose a lot of time without a doubt. Carlos Eduardo moving on to Inters as every other driver is. Of course, there's quite a few who have also decided to stay out. I don't know why the teams would have ordered this. Zygmunt and Crumply staying out. Taco Van Horn staying out. You can see even in a straight line, these guys have got zero pace. These drivers are catching up. They're probably hoping for a virtual safety car towards the end of the lap or something, or just a virtual safety car now would benefit them. But it's unlikely. We'll have to see what happens though as we are entering the final 2 laps of the 70th anniversary GP. Blake Johnson leads from Davey Serra, who's right on the dragon. And looks like he's pulling over to the inside line just before. And that would have been to get some water on the tyres to make them cool. Because currently, they're at 85 tyre temp. And I don't imagine that's going to be good for him. 3 warnings for track limits over Blade and Dragon Tonic. This is not at all optimal. Rainbow and Benedetto stayed out. Ultra takes up a 5-second time penalty. And BDS and Sarikera, they are right on the back of the leading 2. Who probably are going to be staying out until the end of this race. They are probably hoping as well that they can make some sort of gain compared to where they were before. David Sarikera though, he's going to be right on the back of Rainbow. He gets past him easily. Vestillo picks up a penalty in the AlphaTauri down in 15th place. Zygmunt staying out as well as Crumply and Bogdanasarov, I think. And my throat is burning from the commentary, like it feels like it's burning. But yeah, in the podium places should be Olsen, but unless someone else can change it, Ultra, he's managed to get through out of nowhere. Benedetto and Rainbow, they are a literal Formula 1 car wall. What is this? Well, this is definitely what Ocampo wants, because he managed to catch up to these guys. Yeah, all it takes is for one driver to get through. And Olsen! Ocampo makes contact with Olsen. He picks up a penalty. And Ultra is the one who moves through. BDS picks up a penalty for track limits. Davey Serikera does as well. So it's going to be one final lap of racing action to the checkered flag. Ocampo picks up another penalty for track limits. This is the worst way these final 2 laps could have went for him. He probably wished it would have stayed dry. But who knows, he might have benefited overall. We'll have to see what happens though as the end of the race approaches. But BDS leading by 1.9 seconds, and he is currently on his way to lead this World Drivers' Championship. Thus Theo has 1 warning for track limits. And here we go, in towards Cop's corner for the final time today is Blade Round Sonic, who will continue to lead this race. Of course, David Sarikera are hoping for a miracle right now. Because, yeah, when you're 2 seconds back on the final lap, there's nothing you can really do. Ultra looking towards a solid P3 result to get his first podium of the season. Even if Ocampo gets out on the track, there is nothing that can be done here. Adelaide causing a collision, he's got penalised for that. Sebastian though, looking at these gaps, he still has the potential to finish in 5th today. He just gets awarded for a corner cut, but he wins the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. What a drive! Sarikera is the fast lap of the race in wet conditions on intermediate tyres. Ultra finished the podium in 3rd place. Ocampo finishes 4th from Jensen Olsen. As Tom Leon finishing 6th place here. Carlos Eduardo looking to pick up some good points for Williams. It is a 5-second penalty, but nonetheless, it's P7. Williams are well and truly back. They're scoring good points again. Rainbow finishing 13th from Benedetto. Their soft and hard tire, their dry tire gamble not paying off in the end. Butler might keep P15. Probably will, I'd imagine, as he heads to the line. Marcus Klein is next. He's going to finish this one P16 from Taco Van Horn. As Livery gets a 5-second time penalty for track limits, and yes, Butler only just keeps that 15th place. Livery gets out of Van Horn at the line. Crumply next, and the rest of the guys, these are all on dry tires, slicks. So Crumply heads to the line. The gambles did not work. Zygmunt in fact has a puncture. You got 0% on the car tires. Yeah, it's a full right puncture, front right and rear right. Bogsar round the final corner. He was probably expecting to finish last anyways, and he did. But yeah, what a race it was. And this race is exactly what BS needed in this World Championship. He wins the 70th Anniversary Grand Prix. He takes 3 in a row and a double at the UK, utilising Dragon's boosts really well. And he is most certainly going to be happy about that one. Davey Cerqueira getting onto the podium. Same thing for Ultra, whose bad luck might have came to an end now that that's happened. But with that, we are done here in Britain. It's been a good 2 races we've had in the UK, and I wish to see more races like this. And with that, we are done. Let's listen to the Nigerian national anthem. Wins race from Davey Cerqueira and Ultra Pro. Yes, also gets a season best of 4th position, smashing a cap of 5th from Tom Leon UK mode, but Wado finishing 8th in the end of it. So it was not 7th, it was actually 8th. Devin Castro gets 9th from Ravo, who does finish in the points in the end. Marcus Adelaide 11th, disappointing result for him. Bust Hill finishing 12th from Deberto and Lamfong. Dan Butler 15th from Klein Van Horn Livery. Crumply, Zygmunt and Bogsara apparently having that mechanical failure on the Wellington Straight earlier on in the Grand Prix. And with that, the UK is done, as I said before. See you next time when F1 Classic returns. I hope you had a good day, and goodbye.